I don't have a whole lot today. We'll start off just kind of an update on the homicide. Nothing new, basically, at this point in time. We have received a few tips from people that provided some information. The investigation is still moving forward, but no arrests have been made at this point. We're still looking for more information. I know we talked about yesterday about people sending us videos if they had it on their cell phones. We have not received any videos. So one of the things we're looking at is even if people had video of that scene, even if it didn't occur or if they didn't get recordings of the shooting, we'd still like people to get hold of us, let us have those videos for obviously investigative reasons. And if they don't feel comfortable letting us know, they can always get that information through Crime Stoppers, the P3 app, or the Crime Stoppers website, which is crimestoppersiouxempire.com. They're able to submit videos from that. So like I said, we're making progress, but we're still looking for more information, and certainly anybody that has information, we'd like them to share that with us. Have not received any videos. We have received a few tips from people, which some of those tips have helped, but videos, that's one of the things we're still looking for. Is we know, I mean, the cameras that people have on their cell phones are pretty good quality, and so we would be able to gain a lot of information, even if it's after the fact, even if, you know, police or emergency services are there and people were recording it. We'd still like to see those videos because there's a chance that we may be able to get some new information.
Now, you did say yesterday that an arrest was made after the incident about a man who almost knocked him and sped away from the scene. Were police able to talk to him? Had he been cooperating?
The person that drove the vehicle at the officer, and then there was a pursuit. I don't think we had. I don't think we get a lot of information from him. I guess I'll put it that way. We were able to track down a few other people. Some of the people just flat out refused to talk to us. So I mean, that's one of the hurdles that we're running into. And this happens, I'd say, probably in quite a few different types of investigations, where we will talk to somebody that has information and they just don't want to provide that information. And obviously we can't compel people or make them provide that information, but if somebody knows something, there's a good chance that somebody else knows that same information. And so that's what we're looking for, is those people that have those pieces of information. So long kind of backstory, I don't think that the driver of that vehicle provided any information or had much to share.
You guys have a description of the suspect yet?
No, we're still trying to develop the suspect, so we don't have any names or descriptions. That's all part of the investigation.
Will you guys be releasing the number of shell casings found?
Not yet. You know, we did learn some information from the autopsy. We did learn some information after putting the whole crime scene together, but there's a lot of those details that we're going to basically keep to ourselves at this point in time. It's kind of a fine line of how much information to share to the public, and then how much do you want to retain for investigative reasons. And so there's a number of different things that we're looking at, but we're trying to keep some of that information close. And so basically what we're looking at is there may be a few people that would know some of those details. And so those are the reasons that we're not sharing quite everything.
And so far, you guys don't suspect that there was one shooter?
Everything that we have learned at this point leads us to believe that there is just one shooter, but again, we're still looking for more information, and certainly there could be other people that come forward with different details that would change the course of this investigation. But at this point in time, everything that we have seems to indicate that there's just one shooter.
So area businesses are being cooperative, showing you guys videos and outside camera footage and stuff like
Yeah, the other businesses, I guess I don't know. You know, I would say by and large, probably most, if not all of the businesses are cooperative when we have detectives that show up looking for their video. I don't know any specific examples in this case. I know that's one of the things that detectives will always do, is look for video and talk to the business owners, but I don't know if they've received video from other businesses or if we've had other businesses that have refused. I just don't have that information. But most of the time, I don't know that I've run into that I can recall, I guess, that a business has flat out refused to provide any surveillance. They're really good about working with the detectives, especially solving a big case like this.
Now, you mentioned yesterday there was two groups of about a total of 40 people outside that business. Is there a reason, given the large amount of people at that area, that nobody's really talking?
No. So the 40 people, I think maybe we need to clarify a little bit, but everything that we had or have learned, we believe there was maybe around 40 people outside. I don't know that all 40 of those people were part of these two groups. So we could have had a lot of other people that just weren't involved, and then we had maybe a couple of smaller groups, and that's those two people that were having the issue with each other. As far as the details, I mean, I guess I can't speak to that. I mean, sometimes people will be forthcoming and provide us information, and there's other times that people just don't want to talk and don't want to share information, even if they have information about something like this, like a serious case, like a homicide.
And right now you said you're not only asking people to submit videos if they haven't been there, but videos prior to the incident.
I mean, really, if anybody was in that parking lot that night, any of that time frame leading up to or after the shooting, any of those details will help. And so, there may be somebody that doesn't know any of the people that were involved, but if they had their phone out and they were recording it, we'd like to see that video. There could be something that we can learn from that video. It may be identifying people that were there, which could lead us to other witnesses, which could lead us to more information. There's a chance that, they could have captured part of the shooting, some of the chaos and the aftermath, any of those things. We're looking basically just for any video that anybody may have taken. So it doesn't have to be the shooting. If somebody had that recorded, that'd be nice, but anything before or after, that's what we're looking for. And like I said, that somebody may not have any idea who the people are that they recorded, but we would like to see that video. And if people don't feel comfortable sharing that, that's when they can use Crime Stoppers to share that information anonymously.
So 24 hours later, you guys have learned a lot about the scene. Do you guys still believe this was an isolated incident, or do you still feel that the public's at risk, or?
Everything we've learned so far, I mean, nothing's really changed from yesterday's update, but everything that we've learned at this point in time leads us to believe that it was still these two different groups of people, and they had some type of dispute, disagreement, possibly a fight. That's what led to the shooting. So it's not a random event. There's no reason that we would believe that the public's in danger, because it seems like the shooter was targeting somebody or some people in this other group.
Outside of, I guess, your request for people to submit videos, have police been able to watch any footage from maybe surveillance footage?
That's part of pretty much every investigation, is reviewing surveillance video. So that's one of the things. Sometimes there's a delay. Businesses, the owners or managers, sometimes they don't have access to the system. They have an outside party that manages it. Sometimes there's corporate that's involved. So if it's part of a chain, there's been times before where we've had to get a subpoena, and it takes time for that footage to arrive. This is no different. Like every investigation, they're reviewing surveillance video, so there's different time periods when that video may be received, but as soon as they get it, detectives are looking through that to see if there's anything new that they can learn, and particularly if different people that were there. And if they can find different people that were there and identify them, if they haven't come forward, sometimes once we track people down, they're willing to provide us what they know. Some people just don't feel comfortable reaching out, but when you show up at their door and say, hey, we saw that you were there, can you talk to about what happened, then they're willing to talk at that point in time. So every investigation, it's a matter of tracking down people, talking to them, and then piecing together those different bits of information to get a well-rounded picture of what took place and what happened.
Lastly, do you have any status updates on the injuries of the other two people involved?
They were treated and released. So, any updates from there? I mean, they received their medical treatment that night or early morning, and then they were released, so we're not going to have any further updates from them because they're not in any custody or anything like that. Anything else on that? Okay. Like I said, not much on the log. The one aggravated assault, that was a roommate. Somebody threatened another with a knife. No injuries on that. Both assaults are simple assault domestics. The burglaries, we had a couple, 3 different garages that were entered, a storage unit, a couple of businesses people tried to get into. The disorderlies, nothing big. There was one, somebody was threatened with an axe, but no injuries on that. No arrest either. The suspect left, but we know who the suspect is. The embezzlement was a car that was loaned out. Family offenses, we had a couple of reports. The frauds, one of them was an unlocked car, had a wallet taken. We had some bad checks and then credit cards. Larcenies, a few unlocked cars, few shopliftings, some other random items, but nothing big or high dollar. No big quantities on the narcotics. The sex offenses are all reports, nothing big from the simple assaults. And the vandalisms, we had some graffiti and a few cars that were damaged. Somebody did find a trailer that was parked near downtown that had been shot, but they're not sure when exactly it took place. And that's it, unless you guys have anything else. Okay, thanks.